Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would literally just shove the camera on. I'm about to sit down and do my makeup. I need to just film another video, and yeah, I just feel like I haven't sat and chatted to you guys about basically nothing for ages, but I've been loving watching these videos at the moment, just like some really chill, chatty, get ready with me, so I thought I would do one for my channel. I have also been picking up a load of new makeup recently, which I wanted to share with you guys. I think I've shown a couple of products already over on my Instagram, so if you follow me over there, you've probably seen that already. But basically everything that I picked up, I've actually incorporated into my makeup routine, and I've been loving the stuff. So I thought I'd recommend a few new products as well. If there is anything in today's video that you like the look of and you want to try out, I will leave links to everything down below in the description. Also, if you see me looking this way, my mirror and all of my makeup is literally just here off camera. That being said, I'm gonna get straight into it and start my makeup. So first of all, I've literally just scraped my hair back, which is why I'm rocking this kind of egg look. And then to tame my flyaways at the moment, I've been using this, which is the Hairburst Volume and Growth Elixir. I literally just use it to kind of slick my hair back because it does have a little bit of tackiness to it. It is for like volume. It says it adds volume and reduces hair loss, and I think it has a load of other benefits to it, but I really like how this makes my hair feel. I might be working with these guys in the future. I'm currently in like the testing process of their products. They very kindly sent a load of stuff over for me to test out, to see if I like it, to see if I use it, and obviously if I do, that is when I recommend it to you guys. But right now I've been loving this. It's really good. But the first step in my makeup routine is always my eyebrows, which I have changed up I think quite a lot since I last did one of these videos. So I am still using my, if I can find it, here we go, my NYX brow pencil, which by the way, I recommended this in the last video and I was like, oh my god, it's so inexpensive because it doesn't have too much product in it. Like, there really isn't a lot of product in here until you run out of these really quickly. But I was like, it's not expensive, so I don't mind like repurchasing it. This is nearly £10 for a pencil. £10, like, I literally couldn't believe that I recommended a £10 pencil and said it wasn't expensive, because to me that's like quite ridiculous. And also I had a load of comments on that video actually recommending the Primark one. Apparently it's a really good dupe for it, so test that one out before you try this because they are expensive. But the way I've now been using it, I barely use any product at all, so let me just show you guys what I mean rather than just rambling on. So instead of using this to fill in my entire brow now, I literally just underline them. So I go from the front of my brow and just literally draw a line across the bottom, so you can kind of just see that it defines it a little bit more. So I'm just going to do that on both sides, and then I will also fill in a couple of other gaps, to be fair, with this. So for example, at the arch of my brow here, I have a few sparse areas, and the same on the other side. So I just kind of really lightly fill those in. But that is literally all I do with this brow pencil now. I used to fill in my entire brow, and then instead of using that to fill in the rest of my brow, I now use a Tinted Brow Gel. I've been loving these. I really want to try the Benefit ones because I still haven't got my hands on one of them, and I've heard really good things. But for right now, I've been using this Anastasia Beverly Hills one. This is in the shade, I have no, oh, Espresso, so it's like a deep brown colour. I think this is one of their darkest ones, but I just go really light-handed with it just in case, because if you do make a mistake with this, it can literally go everywhere. So I basically just really lightly brush this through my brows. I literally love using a brow gel because they're not too heavy, so it doesn't mean that you're gonna have like really blocky eyebrows. If you want them to look quite natural, this is such a good way of doing them. But also with the gel in there, it means that they stay in place as well, so you're kind of doing two steps in one. I do actually also use a brow gel after this at the end of my makeup, but we'll get on to that. So yeah, I literally just brush that through my brows like so, and it's just so easy. I used to spend so long on my eyebrows, like that was the longest part of my makeup routine, and now I do it this way. It's just literally done in 2 minutes, which I love. This spoolie does have like a couple of different sides to it, so it definitely has a side that has more dense brushes, and they're like a lot shorter if you do want to be a little bit more harsh with it. But then I tend to use the side that has much longer bristles, so you just don't get as much product on there. That is literally it. That is my brows done. It's honestly as easy as that. The longest part of doing my brows is when I carve them out, so I literally just take a little flat-ended brush like this one. I can't remember where I got this from. I think I got it in a glossy box, but it literally just has like a kind of precise flat end to it. And then I just use the Maybelline Instant Anti-Age Rewind Concealer. I've used this for ages. I'm pretty sure in every single makeup video. This is what I'm using to carve out my brows. I do also add a little bit of like foundation on top just to make it a little bit darker. But then I just take that underneath my brow in a straight line and yeah, just carve them out. I am a little bit more precise with the bottom, and then with the top I kind of just like use a really light hand and brush over it briefly, just because I don't want them to be too blocky. But then at the same time I do think that this makes such a difference to your eyebrows. So that is my brows done. It's literally so much easier and so much quicker than the way that I used to do them. And especially if you do want like a more natural looking brow, then literally just underline them very lightly and then brush a tinted brow gel through them and you're done. That is it. It's so easy. But moving on to foundation to prime my face. I've been using this for a little while, and I think I've said it on my channel before, or I might have said it on George's, because we did like a little get ready with me thing on there. But this I have mixed emotions towards, because I really love it. I love the way that it makes my skin feel and how it kind of holds my foundation on. Like, I really don't feel like my makeup budges, but it just smells very interesting. Someone said that I might have an off one because they love the smell of theirs, and apparently it's meant to smell like coconut water, which I kind of get, but oh my god, it just, I don't know what it is, it just smells off. Like, it just smells really weird to me. I really don't know if it is meant to smell like that and like every single one does, or I genuinely actually have a bad product, but it's not broken me out or anything, so I'm going on the basis that I just personally don't like the smell. But like I say, I do really love it as a primer, so I have kept using it. I've literally kept it in my makeup bag this whole time. But yeah, let me know if you've tried this and if you are a fan of the smell or not, because I literally can't work out what it's meant to smell like. But then after I've used that, I literally just use a tiny bit of this Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Defense Radiant Tint Protective Moisturizer. So I think this is a product that I'm gonna just use like on the days where you don't really want to wear makeup and you just want a little bit of glow to your skin. But I do add it in with my primer, and I just put it in like the areas that I'm going to highlight. I feel like it makes such a difference to my foundation and the way that it goes on. Like, it makes it super dewy. I have actually been trying out a new foundation as well, so I will show you guys that, which also is super dewy, but I feel like this just enhances that. I really like it. So I literally just apply most of that to the top of my cheekbones, and then take the excess on my forehead and a little tiny bit on my chin and down my nose, just because, like I say, they're all the areas that I'm going to kind of highlight anyway. I think I actually got that in a glossy box as well, and it's lasted me ages, but I feel like I'm going to invest in the full size product because I literally use it all the time. But then for foundation, I've been using a new one recently, which I've been loving. I've heard so many people talk about Nasty Glow for literally ever. I always hear people use this in like their daily makeup routine. So many people rave about it. So I finally caved, I invested in it, and I am so happy I did. Most of the time I go for really heavy coverage, and I'm not sure why, just because I don't really suffer with my skin. Like, I do feel like I'm quite lucky in terms of like blemishes. The only thing I suffer with is like redness in my cheeks, so I don't have a very even skin tone, which is why I think I go for more like high coverage foundations. But since I found this, it's much more of like your skin but better type thing, and I just think it works so much nicer. Like, it doesn't look too heavy on my skin, it doesn't feel heavy. I just really enjoy it, so I've been using that. But because I bought this online, it is completely the wrong shade. It is way too dark for me. I actually then found out about Foundation, which I think is a website where you basically enter like your foundation shade for products that you've already got. So for example, I have this one at home, so I basically could enter the details of this, and then it will bring up what shade of foundation you are in like other brands. So yeah, I found out about that after, but I have literally just been mixing these two together and they've been fine for now. And then to blend in my foundation, I always use a beauty blender, but I also like to dampen this a bit more with my Mario Badescu facial spray. This is the Aloe Chamomile and Lavender one, and I'm literally obsessed with it. The smell is insane. So as I said, I am mixing foundations at the moment, so I just kind of put a couple of pumps of this on my face first. And then, because I didn't realise this either, but you have to buy a pump for the NARS foundations, which I do think is a bit sneaky considering how much money they are. They then want you to spend, I have something in my eye, they then want you to spend like £6 on a pump as well. So at the moment I'm just pouring this out because I'm not going to spend £6 on a pump. I just think that's crazy. I mean, I'll probably cave in soon and buy one because it is really annoying having to like try and get this out like this. But I just put this foundation on my beauty blender and then mix it together on my face as I blend it out. So I really don't use a lot of that. One, because it is mega expensive. Two, because it's too dark for me at the moment. And three, because you just really don't need a lot anyway. So I literally just bounce this into my skin with my damp beauty blender and we go from there. It's one of the easiest foundations I find to actually blend out. Like, I've tried loads of high-end foundations at the moment. I don't know why, but in lockdown, when I'm literally not seeing anyone, is the time that I've decided to invest in foundation and try loads out. So I've tried I've actually got it here, I've tried the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I love this one. This I think is actually my favourite, but again, I got this one in too dark a shade. I really like that. I've gone through a bottle of it already. That is my second bottle, and I just think it's, again, such a nice like natural finish. At the start I was a bit like, oh god, I'm not sure if I like it, because it was a lot lighter than anything that I'd used before. Like I say, I usually go for a much more full coverage, but by the end I've actually been really loving that one. So I've tried out that. I've also tried out the Huda Beauty Faux Filter one, which again I do really like, but that is so hard to blend out. I think I've used that in a video recently, but you have to just move quick with that. Like, I put it on my face to start with, and I think Brad distracted me or something, and I was talking to him, and then I tried to blend it out and I literally just had like 4 orange dots on my face. So if you want to try it, I would recommend it, but just, yeah, work quick. Whereas this, I just find it so easy to use. You literally could just blend it out so easily. I think it also helps when your beauty blender is quite damp, just because it helps to remove the product a lot more. But I'm just really impressed with it. I'm loving it, which I'm actually quite sad about because it is crazy expensive. I personally don't mind investing in my base of my makeup because the complexion is like everything to me. I don't really use eyeshadow. I don't really do anything with my eyes, to be fair. I definitely focus more on my face makeup. Obviously you want to make sure that you're blending everything down the neck. Whenever I tan, my neck is always so ridiculously pale, so whenever I put foundation on, it looks like it's a completely different colour, but it's only because my neck is so white. I think I need to tan laying down more, because where I'm sitting upright, my neck literally doesn't see the sun, so that is an issue. So then moving on to concealer, this is something else that I bought really recently actually. This is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and I got this because whenever I saw people using the foundation, they also use this to pair with it. And again, I've been really loving it. I love the finish that it gives. It is full coverage, so it does definitely cover the under eye bags that I am currently rocking right now. I don't know what it is, but at the moment I just feel so like exhausted all the time. I'm not doing anything differently, so I don't know what it is. But as you can see, this is quite light just because my foundation is still quite dark for me, so I do like to go in and lighten the high points of my face with this. So I literally just add some under my eyes in a triangle, and then a little bit on my nose and some on my chin, as you can see. And then I'll go back in with my beauty blender. I'll probably dampen it a little bit again, just with a couple of sprays, just to make sure it blends out the product really nicely. And then I would just blend that out underneath my eyes and then on the rest of my face. The other concealer that I absolutely love, that I have been using for ages, and actually the NARS one is what's kind of replaced this, but the Too Faced Born This Way is another amazing concealer. It is a little bit pricey again, but I swear there is so much product in this. Like, I've had these ones for ages. I've got 2 of them and they have not run out, so I'm really impressed with those. I don't know why I haven't reached for them for so long, but I'm really enjoying this NARS one right now. And as you can see, it just lightens up my face a little bit more and makes the foundation look a lot more kind of natural and my skin colour. So that is foundation and concealer all done. Now I'm just going to really quickly powder my eyelids before they crease. This is such an old favourite of mine. George got me hooked on this, and it's a problem because this again is quite pricey, but this is something that will not run out. Like, I swear to God, I've had this maybe 8 months or so now, and I feel like there was so much product still left in there. So this is the infamous Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I just love it. I feel like you've probably heard it enough from everybody online. So I do just dip my beauty blender into it and then place that over my eyelids to stop them from creasing. I've worn a full face of makeup for honestly about 13-14 hours before, and it just doesn't budge because of this. Especially on the eyelids, it just doesn't crease at all. So I then just take some of that down at the side of my nose to make sure that doesn't budge as well. And then I'll pop a little bit on my chin and on my smile lines. Okay, I look crazy, but this is the only powder that I found actually stops my smile lines from like creasing in my makeup. So like I say, a little bit more of an investment, but oh my god, so worth it. Like, if I'm going to recommend any product from this video, it will be the powder. Okay, so I've just blended that all in really briefly. I think I'm going to contour my nose a little bit. I don't usually do this, but sometimes if I want to kind of warm up my face a bit, I'll use this. So this is the Benefit Hoola Kwikki Contour Stick, and I really like this. I didn't love it at the start. I just felt like it blended out to nothing, but I think I was just seeing things because it actually is really good and does do what it's meant to do. So you definitely don't need too much of it. I literally just take a little strip down either side of my nose and then blend it out with the foundation side of my beauty blender. Whenever I'm using beauty blenders, I try and keep one side for foundation and then this end for concealer, so they don't kind of get mixed together. I mean, I wash it every single time before I do my makeup, but when I'm actually doing my makeup, I try and do it like that. So I take the foundation side to blend this out, and I literally just blend it down the side of my nose, and I feel like this just gives like a really quick and lightweight kind of contour. Like, it's nothing too harsh. Oh god, the sun's coming in my window and like illuminating this side of my face. Sorry about that. But yeah, I think this is so good. It's just really easy to use, and it just warms up your face a little bit. You can obviously contour your cheeks and everything with it, but I just am a little bit lazy, so I don't do that. So to probably warm up my face, I do just use a bronzer. Again, this is something that I picked up recently. So this is the Too Faced, I think it's the chocolate bronzer, Chocolate Soleil. This smells incredible. It smells like chocolate. I actually looked up so many reviews on this because I really wasn't sure on what bronzer to get. I wanted to get myself a new one, but I wanted to go off like someone's recommendations, and everyone that I saw reviewing this was raving about it. So I went for it and I'm really happy I did. I think it's such a nice colour, like it's very cool. I have two moods, like I'll either fancy a really kind of orange bronzer just to warm up my face, and then sometimes I want like quite an ashy kind of darker bronzer. So I am loving this for more of like a cool tone bronzer, but if you do want a warmer one, then MAC Gimme Sun is my second favourite. I literally love that, and if I'm not using this bronzer, then I'll be using the MAC one. So I will also leave that link down below in case you're interested. But I literally just focus this on my cheekbones and also warming up my forehead, so I kind of do like the typical 3 shape across each side of my face. I will also take it down on my jawbone as well. I just make sure this is like super blended out because it is very pigmented. You don't need a lot of this. So like I say, I will also just take it down here a bit just to blend it all out a lot more. I feel like this bronzer does have a tiny bit of shimmer to it, which I do actually like. I think again it adds to the glowiness of your skin. I know some people prefer like a completely matte bronzer, which I think the Gimme Sun is. It might again have like a tiny bit of shimmer, but it's not super illuminating. I then also just take a tiny bit across my nose. I will also put blush on to tie this all together. But yeah, I just put this everywhere basically to warm up my face a little bit more. So then speaking of blush, that is always the next step. So to tie it all in a little bit more and add some more natural colour into my face, like bring my red cheeks back in a little bit, I just dab a tiny bit of this over my cheeks, especially like on the apples, and I like to just kind of press this in so it just looks a lot more natural and isn't too harsh. This, by the way, is the MAC blush in Pinch Me. I've had this for literally ever. I think it's honestly probably too old that I should throw it out, but it's blush. It really can't cause that much damage. And then just to neaten that up, because when I do my blush and my bronzer and everything, I kind of just whack it on and don't really like focus it particularly. So I just take a little angled brush like this. This is from Il Makiage, and I just take some of the powder that I used on my eyelids and I literally just draw a line here. So I just run it underneath where I've placed the bronzer and the blush, just to kind of like define it a little bit. So again, it looks a lot more like contour and defines my cheekbones, but I don't have to go through the effort of like properly contouring and worrying about that because I am not the best. And I find that this works just as well. You do have to be careful that you don't create any like harsh lines. So I do like to spend a minute or so just properly blending it out and making sure it's all tying together nicely rather than just having literally a line of powder under your chin. So to blend it out even more, I'll just take like a big fluffy brush like this and press it all over my face. If you came here looking for like tips and tricks on makeup, then you're probably in the wrong place because I'm by no means a beauty guru in that sense. I have no idea what I'm doing. I just wing it every time and somehow it looks alright by the end. Actually, I'll let you guys be the judge of that. So that is more or less my face makeup done. I do obviously add highlighter, but I like to do that at the end. I just want to go back in on my brows for a second and then I will do the rest of that. So first of all, I like to just elongate the tail. My eyebrows stop quite short, so I literally just take them down my brow bone a tiny bit more. Again, just using really light strokes so I don't go overboard on this. I'll obviously just do that on both sides, and then I also tend to just fill in a couple of gaps that I might have missed. But once I've done that, I will then set them in place with another brow gel. So I know I said that the first brow gel, like the tinted one, definitely does keep your eyebrows in place. I like to use something else that will just hold them even more. So this is again Anastasia Beverly Hills, but it's their clear brow gel. So I just literally run this through and kind of brush them out. I also think that adding another brow gel on the top just gets rid of any like powder or any other products that's kind of got into your eyebrows as you do your skin. And this literally holds them in place like all day. This is one of the best brow gels that I've used. That is then the brows completely done. Also, I just remembered that I forgot to put some blush on the end of my nose. So I'm just kind of running the brush over there to just put any excess on there, just to again tie everything in together. But once my bronzer and blush is done and my eyebrows are done, I will then go back in with the eyebrow pencil. But I like to add some faux freckles. I just think again it makes your makeup look a lot more natural, and I do have lots of freckles on my face when I don't have makeup on, so obviously putting makeup on just completely covers them, so I can kind of see them through my foundation. So I'll literally just like lightly dot over where they are and just add them back in. I love freckles. I think they're so cute. So I do really like this method of bringing them back to my face. I also do have quite a few moles on my face as well, so sometimes I like to define them. Again, I'll literally just like lightly press over them with the eyebrow pencil. I know you can actually get like freckle markers, and I really want to try one of those just because they're so much easier to use. You can kind of just like dot it all over your face and then you blend it all out with your finger. Whereas this, I do kind of like just press lightly, and it almost makes them natural enough that you don't have to blend them out at all. Obviously you can add as many as you want or as little as you want, or just completely miss a step out. I just love the look of freckles. I think I'm going to go with that today. That is quite a few actually, but there we go. So next I'm going to move on to my eyelashes. Like I said before, I really don't do a lot with my eyes. If I do, I won't necessarily do like eyeshadow or anything. I'll literally just take like a fluffy eyeshadow brush and dip into my bronzer really lightly and just blend that all out. I do love what that looks like, and I was doing that for quite a while, but I don't know why, I just haven't reached for it for a while, so I'm not going to do that today. I'm literally just going to curl my eyelashes, add my mascara, and that is it. Again, keeping it super simple. So a vital step with my eyelashes is to curl them, because mine are quite long. Like, I would say I'm quite lucky with them, but they are super flat, so they all literally point down, so you can't kind of see them until I actually curl them. So these I actually got recently. Again, these are from Mercier. They were crazy overpriced, but I was just kind of on Cult Beauty. I needed some, and these were the first ones I came across, so I just got them. But they do actually work really well, to be fair. They hold the curl really nicely as well. So I'll literally just curl one to start with, and then go in with my mascara, which is the Urban Decay Perversion Mascara, and I'm in love with this. It's not only so good for like elongating your eyelashes, and it covers them so nicely, but also because this is the waterproof version. I've said this before, but it holds your eyelashes up. So if you personally have quite flat eyelashes as well, and you want to kind of curl them and then use a mascara that's going to keep them there, use a waterproof one, just because it's so much thicker and it just keeps them literally in place all day. So then on to highlighter. Now everything else is kind of done and set in place. First of all, I take a little brush like this. This is just like a domed eyeshadow brush, again from Il Makiage, and I just take my MAC Soft and Gentle and I pop a little bit of this on the inner corner of my eye. This is literally the only other thing that I do to my eyes. Actually, there's one more step that I've been doing recently, which I'll show you in a sec. But yeah, I just love what a little bit of highlighter in the inner corner looks like. So I do this first, and then I will take the same brush and the same highlighter and pop a tiny bit on the end of my nose, and then just take it up the bridge of my nose as well. And then finally with the same brush, I'll do my Cupid's bow. So again, I'll just dip into the palette and then just place some on here. I think this makes such a difference. So then to highlight my cheekbones, I'll take a much fluffier brush. So I just use this one from Morphe. This is the M510 brush, and it's so good. George got me onto this. It's just so useful for your highlighter because it's quite precise still, although because it's super fluffy, it does definitely disperse the product a lot more. I used to use a fan brush, but I feel like you have no control over that. It literally goes everywhere. So I way prefer this. I do actually have a smaller version of this as well, which I think is also from Morphe. And sometimes I use that one for my nose and my inner corner highlight and stuff, but this just works perfectly. So I literally just add that to both sides and kind of blend it out a little bit. And then that is my highlighter done. So the final step, I got this Huda Beauty liner in a glossy box. So it has like a liquid liner on one side and then a kohl liner on this side. And I literally just use the kohl liner to tightline the outer corner of my eyelids. And I love how this looks. I think it just adds a little bit of definition to your eyes, but without it being too much. Especially because this is just like an everyday kind of easy makeup look. I never want to take it overboard, so I just find that this is the perfect in between. So yeah, that is something else that I have been loving doing at the moment. Obviously you can use any kohl liner as well, but if you are a fan of a liquid liner as well, then this is such a good shout. I mean, it's literally 2-in-1. And then moving on to lips, I keep this again very simple. I do need to get a lip liner. I did actually order one the other day, but I was thinking that it was going to be so much darker than it was, so when it turned up it just wasn't the right colour. So I need to actually go to a shop soon and do a massive makeup shop when I can actually see the shades of everything. So for right now, I literally just take my MAC Velvet Teddy lipstick. This has been my go-to honestly since I was about 13, I think. It's one of the first lipsticks I ever used, and I've never ever changed it. So I just put that all over to start with, and obviously you could keep it matte if you wanted to, but I personally like to go in with a Fenty lip gloss. This one is in Fenty Glow, so I just literally pop that over the top. And I just think it looks so nice. Like, this colour ties in so well. This Fenty Glow one is definitely a lot more kind of pink toned. I know there's one called Fussy, which is a lot more brown toned, which I really want to get my hands on because I think it would look so nice with this lipstick. But yeah, that is it for lips. Again, super simple. Final step in my entire makeup routine is literally just to go in and curl my eyelashes again. Just because now the mascara has dried down, you can just give them one last curl and that will ensure that they will hold their shape. So I obviously just do that on both sides, and then that is it. That is my makeup done. This is the makeup that you guys will see over on my Instagram and in all of my YouTube videos. This is just my absolute go-to. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you found some products in here that you like the look of. I definitely need to go and do something with my hair. This is freshly washed hair, so it's going to be a little bit hard to tame, but we will do something with that before I film. Like I said at the start, if there was anything that you like the look of in this video, I'll leave links for everything down below in the description. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I definitely want to do a couple more makeup videos in the future, so hopefully that is something you want to see from me. If you're new here and you enjoyed today's video and you want to see more in the future, please feel free to hit subscribe down below. But that being said, thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I'll speak to you all very soon in my next one. Bye guys.